I feel like the betrayal is taking over everything. Rant. Hey. I'm not sure if I'm looking for advice or just a rant. Early last year I found out that my boyfriend was cheating on me with a girl via Snapchat. She doesn't live in the same country as us, but they met online and had a one-night stand when she was over here visiting, before we became a thing. I knew my partner for over a year before we actually started seeing each other, and we became good friends before we admitted there were some feelings and we decided to explore. We also lived 3 hours away from each other at the time. When I found out that he was messaging with this girl, I was heartbroken. I saw the texts that she saved on their chat. I confronted him. And he admitted that yes, they kept in contact, but it wasn't always explicit. But a few times he did cross a line, and then twice they went all the way, as in nude pictures and videos of them getting off to one another. He said it was an escape from the pressure of our relationship. But he said that he stopped a while back because he realized that he was being stupid and just needed to accept us as a couple, and he didn't want to lose me. I got in contact with the girl, and bless her, she was so lovely. She had no idea and was in shock because my partner would be the last person you would think of in this situation because he was always such an amazing person. She confirmed that they hadn't done it in a while and that she asked to meet up if she was to come back to our country, and he said no. I decided to forgive him, and we both put in a lot of effort to fix this, and I noticed a big change in him. It's been over a year since then, and I have moved across the country to be with him, and we have a 5-month-old son together. And during my pregnancy I told him that I trusted him again and that we were better than ever, and I was truly happy and I felt loved and appreciated every day. 3 months ago, I found out that he slept with 4 girls for the first 6 months of us seeing each other. I know it's kinda the norm to see multiple people at one time and stuff, but we both said that we didn't want to see anyone else, and I went on the pill and stopped using condoms. I found out that he didn't always use condoms, so he put my sexual health at risk. I don't know why this hurts so much worse this time round. Maybe it's because he actually slept with these people. He wasn't actually seeing them but one-night stands. Maybe it's because I'm postpartum and my body isn't what it used to be, and I'm fixating on the fact that it must have been something sexual that I wasn't fulfilling for him. He traveled to see these girls but one, because she lived near him, and she went to his place. So I'm wondering if he even changed the bed sheets before me. Did she meet his housemates that I still talk to this day? He traveled for 5 hours to see one girl, and he told me he was with his friends drinking on the pier. Rang me on the way home to tell me about the best breakfast he got. Another girl, he traveled 6 hours by train, even stopping at the station where I live. He told me he was going to help his mom get his sister into rehab. I even told him that I would pick him up and drive him there. And now I feel sick that I was offering to drop him to a girl's house to have sex. He went 2 hours to see another. I'm struggling so much at the moment, and I really want to give this a chance for my son Sake. He is a decent man, and I know he has not done this since. He is a great dad, and in the last 3 months he has answered every question. Listened to how I was feeling. I know he is trying to help me heal, but it's really knocking me for 6, and I thought maybe the obsessive thoughts and the anger would be a bit less now, but it hasn't. I'm booked in for my first therapy session next week, but my head is just full with the questions and the what-ifs. Our sex life has also taken a back seat because even though I can get in the mood, I'm not actually able to enjoy it, so we are talking that through at the moment. I can't look in the mirror without feeling so much hatred for the way I look. My C-section scar is still pretty rough looking, and I've been recently diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I start treatment in October, and I'm terrified of the thoughts of a colostomy bag. How will he love me then? Or how will he stay faithful to me then, when he cheated on me when I looked my best back then? He comes home from work every day to see me with no makeup on and baby spit on me. When the baby naps, I take that time to shower, but I don't have time to drag a brush through my hair. He is telling me that I have done nothing wrong, that I was perfect back then and still is, and the problem was with him because he was greedy and selfish and he wouldn't change a thing about me. He always said that I'm the best sex he's had. My boobs are his favorite he's ever seen. But then why go fuck other women then? He's telling me it was his mind frame back then which he doesn't relate to anymore, and he's crying and apologizing and is trying to build me back up every day, but I just feel so disgusting. I'm so hurt. I'm finding it hard to be around his friends. What if they knew all this time and didn't tell me? What if he talked shit about me behind my back at the start and now they're wondering how did I get him to stay? I'm so lost, disappointed. I know the end is near, it hurts, and at the same time I feel excited. I've been with my partner for a little over 7 years, and last year was when I discovered he had been cheating, manipulating and gaslighting me the whole time. I broke up with him when I found out, but at the time I was also going through major loss in my family, so I was in a very vulnerable place and let him back into my life. We got back together, and I know the concept of an open relationship sounds terrible given the past betrayal, but that's what we decided to do while he worked on his issues with porn and sex addiction. In the beginning of us getting back together, of course he love-bombed me, and I had hope that maybe he could change, but then one day he jokingly admitted to being a narcissist, and that led me to just Google it, and I discovered a whole new world I didn't even know existed. At first I was so focused on understanding and helping him, but after nearly a year of being with him and seeing him for who he is, I realized he doesn't want help. Lately, we haven't been sexually active and haven't really spent time together. I know his habits and patterns. I have a hunch he's out there with another woman, even though he swears he's not and that he's only been watching porn. That's what hurts, the constant betrayal and denial that he's seeing someone else despite knowing that he can communicate with me about it because we're in an open relationship. I've come to accept he just loves the secrecy and keeping me in the dark about his life. I reached my threshold. I'm done. I'm saving myself. I don't trust him. I don't feel safe with him. I'm scared of being with him. And I've accepted I don't love him, I'm just codependent. I don't feel it's safe for me to end the relationship right now, but I have a gut feeling that I'll be able to exit this relationship safely soon. In the meantime, I'm preparing as much as I can to be ready to live independently without him. Although my journey to where I am today hasn't been easy, the thing that helped me accept reality and let go of the fantasy was accepting that he's sick and I had nothing to do with that. The only person I have control over is myself, and I'm done. Game over. I repaired her heart, but she destroyed mine with the man that broke her. For the first time I'm going to talk about the worst betrayal I've been through. Back in my university days, 2 years ago, post-COVID, I, 22M, was drowning in loneliness. Between the pressures of school and personal family issues, I was spiraling into depression. That's when Fiona, 25F, walked into my life. With her mesmerizing looks and a body that could make anyone's head turn, she was hard to ignore. But what really drew me in was her passion for painting. Our conversation started over her artwork, and soon, we were delving deep into our pasts. Fiona had a haunting past with her ex. Tales of cheating, verbal abuse, and sheer toxicity. Every story she shared made me wonder how someone could treat such a gem so poorly. I made it my mission to show her the love she deserved. She confided in me about her Muslim beliefs and how she felt dirty for being intimate with her ex. She wanted to wait until marriage with me, and I respected that. I was so smitten. I even started saving up to meet her parents and discuss our future. Fast forward a year, Fiona and I had built something truly special. Our relationship wasn't just based on attraction or shared interests, it was rooted in trust and transparency. We had this unspoken pact: no secrets, no hidden truths. Every vulnerability, every fear, every past mistake was laid bare between us. It was this foundation that made what came next so jarring. One evening, as we were sharing our day over text, Fiona hesitated for a moment before telling me about the main event. Lol. She showed me an email from her ex. He was reaching out, wanting to meet up and clear the air for the time he was gonna visit her city for 5 days. He used to live there before he moved and had to come back for some documents. I remember not caring much because I trusted her with all my heart. I'm telling you this because I don't want any secrets between us. I'm going to decline and block him. I nodded, appreciating her openness and thinking that was the end of it. Little did I know, the storm was just on the horizon. Days later, Fiona confessed she felt the need to meet him, to get closure and make him realize the pain he caused her. I was baffled. Why did she need his apology when she had moved on? My confusion turned to anger, and in a heated moment, I told her to go ahead if that's what she wanted. The following 5 days were an agonizing void. The silence between us was thick, almost palpable, and every passing hour felt like a weight pressing down on my chest. My mind raced with 1,000 possibilities, each more haunting than the last. Was she okay? Did she meet him? Why hadn't she reached out? On the fifth night, with a heavy heart and a whirlwind of emotions, I decided to break the silence. I sent her a simple message, hoping for some clarity. But what I received in return was a maze of deflections and half-truths. Each response from her seemed designed to shift the blame, to make me question my own feelings and memories. The term, gaslighting, had never felt so real. As the conversation progressed, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place, each revelation more heart-wrenching than the last. She had met him. Not only that, but she had offered him a place to stay, in the very apartment I had spent days helping her find and set up. The betrayal stung, but nothing could have prepared me for the final blow. They had been intimate. The very act she had reserved for our future, for our marriage, she had given away to the man she had once described with such disdain. He stained me and I wish I never had S*X with him, she used to say. The realization hit me like a tidal wave. The Fiona I thought I knew, the one who spoke of purity and waiting, had gone back to the very man she had once fled from. The pain was immeasurable, and the trust we had built over the years shattered in an instant. The pain was unbearable. The betrayal, too deep. How could she do this when she claimed to love me? I contemplated revenge but realized it wasn't worth it. We parted ways, and I haven't heard from her since. But here's the silver lining, Reddit. Time heals, and I've found love again with a beautiful soul who's shown me what true love really is.